Hi there Year 10, welcome to today's maths lesson. Let's start off with a quick starter, shall we? In your rough books or on a spare piece of paper, whatever you have to hand, please can you work out the following questions, pause the video for about 10 minutes and see how many you can get through. On one side I've got numeracy questions over here, and as always on the other side I've got algebra. If you get stuck on a question, you're welcome to move on to the next one, but spend 10 minutes doing as many as you can and then we'll go through the answers. Pause the video now. Okay, I'm going to run through the answers now. Hopefully you've had a good go. I've got 1099 plus 1001, that's going to give me 2100. 714 take away 25, if you've done a column subtraction you'll have got 689 there. 12 times 1000, well I know to move those 1 and 2 digits 3 spaces over, so that gives me 12,000. 7,846 divided by 2 gives me 3,923. 0.4 times 7, well I know that 4 times 7 would give me 28, so 0.4 times 7, I just need to divide 28 by 10, and that's going to give me 2.8. If I want to find 2/5 of 35, I find 1/5 by dividing it by 5, that would give me 7, but I don't want 1/5, I want 2/5, so I need to do 7 times 2, or 7 plus 7, which will give me 14. For the next one, we're going to do brackets first, so 2 plus 10 gives me 12, and 12 times 5 would give me 60. Negative 4 plus negative 2 means we are at negative 4 on our number line. Here's negative 4. Here's 0. I'm adding on negative 2. That's the same as subtracting 2. So I'm moving 2 spaces over here. So I'm going to end up at negative 6. Well done if you got that right. Decreasing 200 by 15%. Well, 10% of 200 is just 20. 5% is just going to be 10, so decreasing that will give me 170. For the next one, we're doing a multiplication of fractions, so I'm going to multiply my numerators together and multiply my denominators together. 2 times 1 gives me 2 on the top, and 3 times 6 gives me 18 on the bottom. So that gives me 2/18, which I could simplify if I wished to 1/9. Heading over to some algebra then. 3a squared plus 7a subtract 2a. Now we cannot combine a squared and a terms. They are different terms. They are not like terms. I can combine my a terms. So I can combine these two. 7a subtract 2a would give me 5a. So my answer is 3a squared plus 5a. Notice it's not 8a or 8a squared. We cannot combine the a squared and the a terms. 5 times c times c. Well, I know that c times c, anything times itself, is going to give me c squared. So 5 times that would give me 5c squared. If n is 1, find n plus 2. Well, anywhere we see an n, we're going to put the number 7. 7 plus 2 gives me 9. Solve 3x plus 1 equals 4. My first step is to subtract 1 from both sides. That leaves me with 3x is equal to 3. And then if I solve that, I end up with x is equal to 1. And finally, expanding this bracket, 5 times 2x would give me 10x, subtract 15. Well done if you got that right. Okay, let's have a look at a diagnostic quiz. So A, B, C and D, write down your answers as we go along. Feel free to pause the video at any minute if you'd like to spend some extra time thinking. Off we go. Question number 1. What is 12 subtract 19? A, B, C or D? Choose your answer now. Splendid. Question number 2. What is 104.20 divided by 10? Choose your answer now. Okay then. Can you find this missing angle A? Can you find this missing angle A? You've been given this angle, you've been told this angle here is 41 degrees. What is A? Pause the video, have a little think. Question number 4, can you expand this bracket for me? Remember, we're multiplying everything inside the bracket by the term outside, so 5 times x plus 5 times 4. And finally, what is the size of the angle marked Q? What is the size of the angle marked Q? We've got angles around a point, We've been given one of those angles as 257. What's the other one? Right, let's run through some answers. We've got 12 subtract 19. Well, we know 12 subtract 12 would just give us a 0, but we need to go 7 more spaces along, so the correct answer was B. Well done if you got that right. Question number 2, 104.20 divided by 10. All those numbers need to move one space along on the place value table, so that's going to give you 10.42, which was B. Next one, we know there are 180 degrees on a straight line, so to work out the missing angle, we need to do 180, subtract 41, and that will give us 139 degrees. So the correct answer was D. Well done if you got that right, that was from last lesson. Expanding this bracket, well, 5 times x gives me 5x, and 5 times 4 gives me 20, so I was looking for C. And for this last one, we need to do this 360 degrees in a whole turn. I need to subtract 257 from that, and that's going to leave me with 103 degrees, which was C. Well done if you got that right. Let's head into today's lesson. We're going to start off by looking at different types of triangle. So here I have an equilateral triangle. What can you tell me about an equilateral triangle, Dylan? Fantastic, it's an equilateral triangle. It has 3 equal sides, hence the name, and 3 equal angles, hence the name. Now what about an isosceles? What do we know about an isosceles triangle, please, Ruben? Cool, it's got 2 equal sides, and we show that by these little lines, so we know those sides are equal in length, as shown by the little lines. And it's got 2 equal angles. Again, this is shown here. These 2 angles are the same. So how about a right angle triangle then? That's a nice one. Rowan, what can you know about a right angle triangle? Cool, it's got one 90 degree angle, it's got a right angle in it, hence the name. There's your 90 degree angle. Now this is the hardest one, scalene. Nathan, what do we know about a scalene? A scalene triangle is like the other one. There are no equal sides and there are no equal angles. If it's not an equilateral, it's not an isosceles, it's not a right angle, it must be a scalene triangle. Okay guys, mini whiteboards or rough books. A, B, C or D, what's this triangle? Okay, this hasn't got any equal sides or any equal angles, it hasn't got a right angle, it's got to be a scalene. How about this one? Cool, it's got equal angles and equal sides, so it's an equilateral, hence the name. How about this one? Okay, here we've got 2 equal sides, shown by the little lines, and 2 equal angles here and here. So we'd call this an isosceles triangle. What do we call this one then? This is an isosceles triangle as well. It's got those 2 equal sides, which means that these 2 angles are equal. It's just been tilted on its side, so the correct answer was A. So what can we do with this information? We know lots about triangles, but what do we know about the angles in a triangle? What do the angles in a triangle add up to for me, please, Lewis? Correct, they add up to 180 degrees, and we can use this to work out missing angles. Here I've got a triangle, it's got an 87 degree angle and a 63 degree angle, and I've been asked to work out what this missing angle is. Well, I know that all of those angles there are going to add up to 180, so 180 is going to be 63 plus 87 plus whatever that remaining angle would be, x. So to work out the missing angle, I need to do 180, take away 87, take away 63. Now you can choose, you can do it in 2 steps, you can do it in 1 step, you can do it as a column subtraction. I do not mind, but 180 take away 87 take away 63 will give you 30 degrees. Over to you guys on your mini whiteboards in your rough books. Can you please work out the missing value x? Pause the video for a minute and have a go. Splendid, let's work through it together. I know that x is going to be equal to 180, take away 52, take away 27. So that's 180, take away 79, which is 101. Hopefully we got that right. So how about now? I've got two triangles that are examples of triangles we looked at earlier in the lesson. What type of triangle is shown in example 1, please, Owen? It's an equilateral triangle, you're right. There are 3 equal sides and there are 3 equal angles. It's an equilateral triangle. So if all of those angles are equal, then we know that this angle plus this angle, A plus A plus A, is 180 degrees. And we also know that all the angles are the same. So to work out one of them, all we have to do is 180 divided by 3, because they're all equal angles, and 180 divided by 3 is 60 degrees. So we know each of those angles is 60 degrees. Okay, Rowan, what type of triangle have I got an example 2, please? Great, it's an isosceles triangle, thank you, Rowan. Now this time I've been given this angle at the top, that's 52, and been asked to find these other 2 angles. Now we know in an isosceles triangle the other 2 angles are the same. So I know that 180, take away 52, take away 2 lots of whatever the final angle is to find out what B is. So now I can find 2B is equal to 128. So one of those angles is 64. Don't worry if this is getting a bit tricky for you. I'm trying to cover everything so everyone's got some kind of challenge to work on. So I'll go through an example, then there'll be one for you to do. Here I've got an isosceles triangle. I've been given this angle here. I know that this angle here is exactly the same. It has to be. It's an isosceles triangle. I also know that angles in a triangle add up to 180. So I can find x by doing 180, take away 67, take away another 67, and whatever's left will be my value of x. Now you can do this by a column, you can do it in your head, whichever way works for you. X is going to be equal to 46 degrees. Over to you guys, here's one for you to work out. Right, let's go through it. Now this time, x is the same here. We know this angle here is 112, so we know that if I take away 112 from 180, that gives me 68, and that's going to be equal to the total of these 2 remaining angles. So x plus x is equal to 68, or 2 lots of x is equal to 68. Therefore x must be equal to 34 degrees. Again, don't worry if this is getting too tricky. As long as you can find some missing angles in triangles when some are given, that's what's important. Over to you guys. In your light blue books, in your rough books, or on your mini whiteboards, please pause the video for 10 minutes or so and have a go at these questions. Green are a little bit easier, orange are a little bit trickier. Off you go. And these are the answers. Please check your work and see how you did. Right, I want to look at one more angle fact, okay? The angles that are opposite each other when 2 straight lines cross are called vertically opposite angles, okay? So if I've got 2 straight lines, like so, the angles opposite each other, these blue ones or these orange ones, we call them vertically opposite. Or in this example, the red ones and the green ones, we call them vertically opposite. They're opposite each other. And they are always equal. So the blue angles are going to be equal and the orange angles are going to be equal. the green angles are equal to each other and the red angles are equal to each other. Non-examples are shown here. So when those lines are not straight, this is clearly not a straight line. Therefore, they are no longer vertically opposite angles, they're no longer equal. Let's use this fact to find a missing angle. If I've given two straight lines and I'm given the angle 65 degrees and asked to work out x, well, we know they're vertically opposite, so x must be exactly the same, it must be 65 degrees. Over to you guys, mini whiteboards, what's x? Cool, they're vertically opposite, it must be the same, x is equal to 72 degrees. Mini whiteboards or rough books. Are angles ABC and EBD vertically opposite? Are these two angles vertically opposite? And what is angle EBD? Question 1, yes, they are vertically opposite, therefore this angle must be equal to 60 degrees. Number 2, are angles ABE, this angle here, and CBD, this angle here, vertically opposite? And question number 2, what is angle CBD? What is the purple angle? Yes, they are vertically opposite, therefore that angle is exactly the same, it's 110 degrees. Here's a question for you. Are angles ABE, the blue angle, and CBD, the purple angle, are they vertically opposite? What is angle CBD? So for this one, no, they're not vertically opposite because this line here is not a straight line. Therefore, we cannot work out what this remaining angle is. They're not vertically opposite, they're not the same. So we have looked at lots of different angle facts this week. We found out that angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. For example, A and B will add up to 180. We found that angles around a point added up to 360. For example, A, B, C and D add up to 360. We found out that the angles in a triangle added up to 180. For example, A plus B plus C is 180. And we just found out that opposite angles are equal. So angle A is equal to angle B and angle C is equal to angle D. Can you now use these facts to work out these missing angles? Please pause the video for 10 minutes or so and work out as many of these as you can. Off you go. And these are the answers. Please check your work and see how you did, Year 10. And that's the end of today's lesson. Please head on over to Google Classroom and submit today's exit ticket so I can assess your understanding and help you out if need be. Hope you've had a wonderful day and enjoy your weekend. I look forward to seeing you again next week in person. Off you go. Goodbye.